What's up YouTube, Josh Bacon here, also known as JB the Car Fanatic. Now, for my first YouTube upload for 2020, I thought I would do something special for you guys. I will tell you the story of one of the former cars my family used to have in the past. Back when I was younger, my dad used to have a Vauxhall Insignia Sports Tourer, and in my opinion, I thought it was one of the best cars my family had owned. And in this video, I will tell you the story of my dad's Vauxhall Insignia estate, what I liked about it, etc. Are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then I'll begin. On the 8th of March 2012, my dad came home with his new car, a 2009 Vauxhall Insignia Sports Tourer CDTI Elite Nav, and when I saw it outside for the first time, after coming downstairs and coming outside on the driveway, I was rather impressed. For starters, I thought it was rather good looking for an estate, especially in the dark pearlescent red colour it was finished in, which was called pomegranate red by Vauxhall themselves. I even remember our first drive in it. Shortly after we got it, we went to McDonald's in it to get something to eat. Dad was very happy with it, and because he had the Elite Nav model, it was also fully loaded with all the bells and whistles, dual zone climate control, electrically adjustable heated leather seats, HID headlights, colour sat-nav, powered tailgate, the lot. It even had the most powerful diesel engine available in the Insignia at the time, a 2-litre CDTI turbo diesel inline 4 with 157 brake horsepower and 350 newton meters of torque, driving the front wheels through a 6-speed manual gearbox. I also thought it was very refined and it rode very nicely on the motorway when we went to visit my grandmother in it when she was still living in Sheffield. And on long journeys, I found it to be quite comfortable. In fact, I remember when my dad took me to the Cadwell Park racetrack in Lincolnshire in it on a couple of occasions, and it rode brilliantly. And before my dad got his transit work van in May 2014, he used the Insignia for going to work too, and during the time he used it to go to work before he got the van, it actually proved to be reasonably reliable during the time he owned it. Yes, I know this car was really a product of General Motors, and I know GM products aren't the most reliable things in the world, but still, the reliability was okay, and it got Dad to and from work, and he had few issues with it. Of course, given that he was using it as his work vehicle before he got his van, the interior did end up getting rather mucky over time. As you can see, my dad had put seat covers on the front seats to stop them getting dirty. The rear floor mats were very mucky as well, and what was this bottle of Philip Bang doing in my side door bit? But at least the interior stood up well to the abuse of being used as a work vehicle. In fact, here's a picture of me helping to wash it with my sister in 2013. Overall, the Insignia was a great car for our family to have, but there was one bit about it that would make me very anxious. Its alarm system also utilised volumetric interior sensors to protect the vehicle interior by looking for anything that stirs the air inside the car. But then again, seeing as this was the Elite Nav specification, which was pretty much the range-topping trim level before the hot, fire-breathing VXR model, that was something to be expected in such a high level of specification. Not only that, but those volumetric sensors also meant that whenever we needed to stop somewhere while we were taking the Insignia, my anxiety levels would go through the roof because of them. Also, where waiting in the car would normally be an option for me if we were taking my mum's Hyundai Santa Fe, for example, the shops, the Asda store at Celtic Point Retail Park in Worksop is a good example of this. With the Insignia, because I was so scared about the alarm going off, I had no choice but to come in with them. Why, you ask? Well, because of these volumetric sensors, I was scared that if I were to wait in the car for them to come back, not that I would have wanted to if we were taking the Insignia, if the doors were locked, the alarm would go off while I was waiting for them to come back due to the sensors tracking every little movement I made inside the car. As a matter of fact, I specifically remember in October 2013, when I was 13 years old, when we had just parked up at Asda supermarket at Celtic Point and we were getting out the car, I overheard my mum telling my sister that I didn't like staying in my dad's car because of this. Yes, believe it or not, I was actually scared of waiting in the car if my family were taking my dad's car, even at age 13, as my dad had owned numerous cars in the past that had burglar alarms on them. However, despite the fact that I was completely terrified of being locked inside it for fear of its burglar alarm going off unexpectedly while I was trapped inside, it was still a brilliant car. So you can imagine my slight disappointment when, on the 30th of May 2014, my dad decided to sell it to We Buy Any Car 3 weeks and 1 day after getting his Ford Transit work van for his new job at Robson in Sheffield. So, when the time came to sell it at the We Buy Any Car branch at the Lakeside Village Shopping Centre in Doncaster, I went with my dad for one last drive there in the Insignia before it was sold. And that marked the end of 2 years of relatively trouble-free ownership of our Insignia estate. I thought, and still do think to this day, that it was one of the best cars my family had ever owned, as it was reliable, spacious, comfortable, and, as I mentioned earlier, rather good looking for an estate. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, share and comment on this video, and make sure to subscribe to my channel as well, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat too. I shall see you in the next video, but until then, this is Josh Bacon, also known as JB the Car Fanatic, signing off. Peace!